Hi, this is Eternal King bringing you another gaming video today, and we are reviewing a classic, and we are reviewing one of the hallmarks of, I would say, gaming narrative storytelling. So, again, what we're going to do is we're going to run through the intro, and I'm going to shut my big mouth, and I'm just going to allow everyone watching this, who has not seen it before, to enjoy it for what it's worth. Essentially, just going to let it play out.
I am Andrew Ryan, and I'm here to ask you a question. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the poor. No, says the man in the Vatican, it belongs to God. No, says the man in Moscow, it belongs to everyone. I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose something different. I chose the impossible. I chose rapture. A city where the artist would not fear the censor, where the scientist would not be bound by petty morality, where the great would not be constrained by the small. And with the sweat of your brow, rapture can become your city as well.
Okay, so that is the introduction to Bioshock. And I want to talk a little bit about why this introduction is so effective. Keep in mind there are certain things I can't help. For example, the remaster added dirt to the window pane when you're doing the little guided tour. I can't change that. That was baked into the remaster. And it's an example of, I think, modern gaming choices largely missing the point. The point of that introduction sequence is not to look at the glass. The point of that introduction sequence is to look at the city and get introduced some narrative tidbits and teasing you in terms of locations that you have not been to yet. So basically it transitions seamlessly from the bathysphere introduction to gameplay. So you step out of the bathysphere after the guided tour and you're playing the game. So again, talking about why this is so effective, compared to, say, the way that narrative introductions are done in video games today. You think about like the new God of War for PS4, PS5. You think about The Last of Us on PS3, which first introduced this narrative method. We went from on-rails Valve introduction sequences, basically a guided tour, to walking cutscenes, where instead of having a very select visual scene shown to players, you are instead just walking through a nondescript patch of land with your guided NPC. I think that this, what we're seeing right now, despite the fact that it is it's a good solid, 10 years old, if not longer, coming from the 360 era. It's a decade old now, and this introduction is more effective than almost every single game I played in the last 10 years. The darkness of the area is very like System Shock 2, and it's the only part of the game that is this dark. The rest of the game is actually very well illuminated and very pretty to look at. But I think they, Ken Levine, the creator of the game, wanted the introduction to be spooky, a lot like System Shock 2. Again, I value this introduction over anything that's come out in the last 10 years of gaming. You can say that this is Unreal Engine 3. You can say that the textures look bad, they're not shiny, they're not nice looking. But something about that guided tour in the introduction and a lot of the locales that take place in the game looks better than, again, that dirt drives me nuts. You can see the light shining off the dirt. I hate this inclusion. It's, again, a modern gaming thing that just does not need to be there. The glass is supposed to be see-through and clean. It literally went through the water. Why is the glass so dirty? Like, I just want to take a squeegee to it. So, again, I just want to introduce you to, again, maybe you've never played Bioshock before. It is quite an old game now. There are lots of gamers that have been born that have never been introduced to this. They play Minecraft, they play Fortnite, they don't know the glory of immersive sims. Immersive sims being a type of first-person RPG that really is only defined by its systems and the fact that you're fully immersed in the experience. But this is Eternal King signing out. I wanted to share a gaming win, right? So again, my last video on Evil Genius 2, it was a little negative, talking about why we can't have nice things. I wanted to go back 10 years to the 360 era of gaming, talk about one of the best narrative experiences ever created, and I wanted to share why it works and why I think maybe some modern games aren't as good with or aren't as strong with their introductory sequences. Basically, the Bioshock introduction is taken point for point from Half-Life 1, which came out in the 90s. It is a 2 decades old narrative gaming storytelling technique, the on-rails introduction. And we can see that this was basically dismissed in favor of walking cutscenes. And you just walk through a nondescript patch of land with your NPC, you look at what you can look at, and that's what you do. It's a million times less effective than the Valve method, in my opinion. This is Eternal King, signing out.